Get your CGR shirts and glassware at ClassicGameRoom.com. Classic Game Room is brought to you by Magnum Skywolf. CGR is supported by fans on Patreon. Thank you.
And his younger, slightly less charming brother who happened to be tagging along for the ride. You know, I always think...
The man with the perfect hair returns in Uncharted 4, A Thief's. But maybe it's time that Nathan Drake hangs up his hat. If he wore a hat, which he doesn't because he has perfect hair. In my opinion, that's the best thing this game has going for it. Look at that hair. Wow, it defies everything. It reflects bullets and regenerates health. VO5 hot oil all the way. That one's for you, Mr. Nelson, and everyone else who watched me play this game on Twitch for what felt like an eternity. Because Uncharted 4 is just exhausting. It's not bad, it's not great, it's in the middle, and Uncharted 4 shouldn't be average. This should have been amazing. The first game in the series I thought was terrific. This one just goes on and on and on, and it feels like an RPG without any of the stuff that makes an RPG worth playing. Like, you don't level up Nathan's hair or anything. His hair doesn't gain new powers. His hair doesn't get experience. His hair doesn't even collect anything of note. It just swings from cliff to cliff, climbs the obvious climby things, and occasionally gets into a few gun battles.
Hey, we can climb this!
Fingers of steel, hair of magic. Of course you can climb it. It's got the obvious climby things. They exist because nature makes it so. Uncharted 4 slips and falls to its doom, not because it's a bad game. I question whether or not it even is a game. This is an interactive movie, and I think this style of game was really cool in like 2008. But these days, I think they need to add more to it. They've created this gorgeous world. Now, credit where credit's due. The environments are spectacular. But good graphics will only get you so far these days. Everything has good graphics. I mean, hell, the most popular game is Minecraft. It doesn't even have good graphics. We all expect good graphics and big music, right? I mean, obviously it has that, but does it have the hook to keep you interested? If you're into the series, I would say yes, you should play it, if you've enjoyed the other Uncharted games. It's like a giant love letter to itself, and I don't want to give away anything. But the title of the game kinda gives it away. I think even Nathan knows it's time to stop dyeing his hair and let the grays show through. It's ironic that after you've spent countless hours playing Uncharted 4 that the one or two scenes where you play Crash Bandicoot steal the show. Because that's a reminder of what a video game is. Not an animated cutscene where Nathan fights with his wife for 20 minutes. I can do that for free.
I'll be damned.
If I could purely enjoy this game from the cinematic standpoint and the backgrounds, then, you know, it would be incredible. But the gameplay just feels obsolete, and so many of you on Twitch said the same thing. You've seen these gun battles before. We've seen the puzzles. We've watched the cutscenes. What Uncharted 4 needed to do, or maybe what the next game in this series, if there is another game in this series, needs to do, is either embrace virtual reality or turn this massive environment into Grand Theft Auto Online or something. And I don't mean from the death and destruction standpoint. I mean like they've created this incredible world. Give us something to do. The entire premise of the game is that you're rushing through it to save your brother, right? So you really don't have much time to look around and enjoy this remarkable environment that the developers have created. It looks spectacular. But so does everything else these days. Uncharted 4 has multiplayer, but is this the kind of game that you buy for multiplayer? It's an adventure. It's an interactive adventure. The final boss battle has QuickTime events. I think that says it all.
Well, looks like we got ourselves another trial. It sure looks like it.
The puzzles are puzzling, but I guess we expect that by now. And I want to give a big Classic Game Room shout out and thank you to my man Marcus, who helped me get through most of the puzzles on Twitch. Because I'm a complete idiot when it comes to puzzles. Also, I think they really break up the gameplay. It's like you go through this scene fighting a bunch of bad guys and shooting things, and then it's like, oh, here, solve this puzzle with a water wheel and a bucket. Like, oh, great. The controls in the combat and the weapon selection is as expected. It's not bad. If you've loved the Uncharted series up to now, then I feel like you have a duty to play through this one. I mean, there's a part where Nathan goes through his past adventures with a Nerf gun or something. I don't really want to come out and say it, but in a way it feels like Uncharted 4 is kind of full of itself. I mean, when Crash Bandicoot hands Nathan Drake his own ass in his own game, it's time to call it quits. This part was kind of neat. It's a good way to use the environment, but what Nathan Drake really wants to do here is put on some slippers, get in the rocking chair, and regale his grandkids with tales of adventure from 2008 when these games were exciting.
Hey! I found more of the colony.
It would have been easier to make a reaction video to this game and just go, oh, it's great, or it's awful. It's in between. That's very challenging. Now, my friends at Sony sent me Uncharted 4, so thank you very much. And if Nathan Drake ever returns, please make him go full cyborg and combine the series with Bionic Commando, because it kind of feels like there's a bit of Bionic Commando inspiration in here anyway. Now, this gives me a good idea. Hold on now. Uncharted versus Bionic Commando. Nathan Drake versus Nathan Rad Spencer. Which Nathan has the better hair?
So, Avery and 2, invite them up here.
I mean, just look at that. Nathan uses his hair to think. It's a miracle. I'm gonna go play some Crash Bandicoot. If you're going to buy the game anyway, buy it through ClassicGameRoom.com. Classic Game Room is supported by fans on Patreon. Thank you. Now prepare for the Lord Carnage Club, where I celebrate these backers on Patreon by shouting their name in a volcano! Derek Langley. Beer is the trick. Steven Chucknick. From New Jersey. Michael Fernandez. People not named Michael Fernandez aren't Michael Fernandez. Al Stiver. Woo! EDM! Jason from British Columbia. Philipp Straubenmueller from Vienna, Austria. Cue the thunder. Jeff CapDauntles Breyer. Cue the lava. I don't know what lava sounds like. It sounds like this. Jack Stavris from Australia. Ohad Kanne, Master of Thunder. Chip Senkbeil, Fighter of Space Bees. Woo! Rick DeBarros gets the extra disco. Michael and Arianna Nelson, Fighters of the Future. That's enough disco, because now it's time to shout, Busy Signal! That's right, and keep the volume loud and the party rocking for Sean Zoltek. Really? No. Sean Zoltek! Sergio Matthias Hergert! Tubular. Will.